Hey, this is Eve, author of Detox with Ease. Detox your body, purify, feel great, look great, and be great. I used to have it become a superhuman on it. And I think that was even before some of these health gurus were using that. I'm not sure. But I took that off. But it is true. I wanted to talk about hormones because I have so many friends who are having painful periods. I have a friend who just told me that she has fibroids. But basically everyone, man, woman, and child needs to know about hormones and how to detox your hormones. Is maybe one of the most important subjects. So, whenever I go see, these breast cancer people raising money, I always go and ask them, I said, hey, do you know what an endocrine disruptor is? And they go, oh, no. I said, do you know what an estrogen mimicker is? And they go, no. And I was like, well, you really need to find out. Because medicine has not even caught up with the basics yet, so we need to educate ourselves. I think I'll read my chapter from my book. All of my chapters are so short. Let's see, this one's only 2 pages. Most of my chapters are 2 pages because they're just basically jumping off. I give you the overview so you can understand without putting a lot of complicated details, and you can, look into each subject more. So I'll just read. I haven't read this for a while. I might have to get my pen. I tend to do some editing while I'm reading. I'm a little overdressed for Tuesday detoxing, but whatever. Okay. Endocrine disruptors and your hormones. Endocrine disruptors are also known as hormone disruptors and estrogen mimickers. Your hormones are the messengers in the body. They keep all of the systems in your body functioning smoothly. This includes your heart, your weight, your sexual function, and your mood. Hormone imbalance, excess, or deficiency is usually a factor in almost any illness. So I had a multiple chemical sensitivity, a very severe, incurable illness, which I cured. But, when you get a chronic illness, generally everything is wrong with you, and that would be including your hormones. So, when you're healing a chronic illness, you go in and you work with all the different systems. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe, the bell button, and the all, and that way you can get notified when I come on. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Hormone imbalance, excess, or deficiency is usually a factor in almost any illness. In order to stay healthy and happy, it is best to avoid and also to detox common endocrine disruptors. Hormone imbalance is caused by endocrine disruptors. Hormone imbalance caused by endocrine disruptors is epidemic. It is an underlying cause in obesity, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and reproductive system cancers. It is also responsible for man boobs, certain erectile dysfunction, depression, anxiety, infertility, and chronic conditions. The epidemic of thyroid problems and vitamin D deficiency are hormonal issues. So now you can go Google that, and look into it. Although it's harder, Googling gets harder every day because it's more kind of corporate run with the SEO and the ranking. Let's see. BPA is the most widely studied endocrine disruptor and has been shown to cause cancer and many other hormonal issues. BPA is found in plastics, grocery sheets, paper money, and certain other papers. Phthalates are also endocrine disruptors. All plastics have endocrine disruptors. So BPA-free and phthalate-free are better than nothing. However, all plastics are made from petroleum or corn that has been heavily sprayed with pesticides, are toxic, and should be avoided whenever possible. When I had a chemical sensitivity, I would have a hard time even buying a food that had a plastic wrap on it. I still would prefer not to, but it's so hard to find things without plastic. I still do though. And when I go to the grocery store, I don't like put my stuff in a plastic bag, because here's the amazing thing about chemical sensitivity is that you're so sensitive to all the toxins that you don't need to read about them. You just already know. You're just aware. So I'd be like, I wouldn't put my food in like a fresh plastic bag because it's been freshly minted. That means it's got all kinds of residue in it. I mean, hopefully it's minimized, but still, don't just, it's a huge waste on the environment too, to like putting all of your vegetables in a plastic bag. You just throw them in the cart. Nothing bad happens. You get used to it. Or you can get your own bags now and bring them. That's a thing everyone does. Other common endocrine disruptors. Soy is a natural estrogen boost and should not be overused by certain people, especially men or anyone who has like an estrogen dominance. If you have an issue with losing weight, if you have a lot of body fat, or other issues, breast cancer and whatnot, avoid that soy. Drinking water has many hormone residues from pharmaceutical drugs that make their way into the water supply. Yeah, people don't realize that, but people take all these medicines and then they pee them out into the toilet. It goes into the water supply. And the cleaning of the water supply is not, they don't get all of these trace and minute drugs in the water. So it has, there are concentrations of these in your water. So make sure you get very purified water. Parabens found in lotion, shampoos, and personal care products are endocrine disruptors. All right, before I keep going with the list, well, let me go just real quick. Birth control pills and synthetic hormone replacement can be endocrine disruptors. Pesticides and herbicides. So a pesticide is an estrogen mimicker, most pesticides. Fire retardants found in carpet, furniture, sports gear, and clothing are endocrine disruptors. So when you get that new mattress sprayed with the fire retardant, you're putting your head down on there every night, even though it has a sheet on it, you can be getting some of those residues to your skin. Fire retardant, mercury, lead, dioxin, atrazine, perchlorate, arsenic, PFCs, and organophosphate are endocrine disruptors. Pesticides and glycol ethers, artificial air fresheners, dryer sheets, fabric softeners, and other synthetic fragrances are endocrine disruptors. Foods and beverages in plastic packaging have endocrine disruptors. All conventional products made from animals are given hormones so that they grow fast. They should be avoided. That is all conventional meat and dairy. European cheeses, butter, and other products are still healthy, but check frequently because the laws change often. Lamb is usually hormone-free. Usually comes from Australia, halal, grass-fed. So that's a huge, huge, huge one. Like, basically, stop today eating conventional cheese, dairy, meat, and even I don't eat meat that has been fed corn because it's GMO and it's full of pesticides. So it's huge because all of these little animals, these cows and these chickens, they are fattened up as fast as possible. And the way that's done is with hormones, because estrogen makes you fat. That's why women are fatter than men, because we have more estrogen. So we're supposed to be more cuddly, chubby. But they feed those to the animals so that animals get big as fast as possible. So these animals are completely on hormone balance, which is not really kind to the animal. They're probably very moody. And that was a joke, but it might be true. Probably is true. But either way. So, and the cows, they give the cows all of this hormones to make them think that they're pregnant so that they keep giving milk. So this is really not good for your body. I mean, some people don't eat any kind of meat and dairies. I personally do, but I will eat grass-fed organic. And if it's not grass-fed organic, I'll try to find out where it came from. Like if Trader Joe's tries to be pretty GMO-free, Whole Foods is pretty iffy. When it's organic, it's supposed to be non-GMO, and then you have to keep checking. But it is so much worth it to eat this much chicken, that's grass-fed, non-GMO, non-pesticide, non-hormone disrupting, not fed antibiotics, not fed hormones to grow. And the hormones, I think, is probably the worst of anything besides the GMO pesticides. Antibiotics are really bad too. So you don't want any of that in your body. I think that's probably about, if they ceased using those products, maybe like obesity might just be cut in half in America, literally, because you're eating this food that's filled with hormones, that's pumping your fat up. Of course, it'd be very hard not to be obese. People think it's calories, couch potato-ness, but it really starts with the hormones, because if your body feels good and healthy, you're not going to be laying on that sofa. You're going to be getting up and you're going to be doing something else because you feel great and you want to go experience more life. So, and also depression, everything is intertwined. So, yeah, if you don't do anything else with this whole book, change your laundry detergent and stop eating hormone-laden animal products. I think, there's a lot of controversy over this, but I think it's probably, when they have all the studies, people who eat meat, people who don't eat meat, the people who don't eat meat are a lot less cancer, less this, less that. But I don't know how many studies they've done on people who eat very healthy meat, that's grass-fed, organic, where the animal's let outside, the animal's given a normal diet. Like, I can't even eat a piece of chicken like that. Like, it doesn't even taste good to me. You just put it in your mouth and you're like, ugh. I just can't. Or even eggs. Like, if you go to a normal restaurant, you just, I wouldn't even do it. You just look at the eggs, are so sad, and they hardly have any nutrition in them either. Besides having the bad stuff, they don't have the good stuff. So when you get the good stuff, it's run around outside, so it has vitamin K too. Like this butter you get, like the natural butter, has amazing nutritive properties, K2 and a lot of other stuff, which doesn't get into it if they're just, raised in some little cage and just fattened up, So hopefully you listen to this and go home and tell your parents, like, I'm not ever eating that again, because it's really not good for you. It's can give you, infertility is off the charts. So many people are having a problem with infertility. So many men are having erectile dysfunction, even at a young age. So many people are having a problem with their weight. So many people have like a man boob. So many people are having breast cancer. So many people are having fibroids. So many women are having endometriosis. So many women are having painful periods. Not to mention depression, low energy, and whatnot. And a lot of this, I do believe, comes from the hormones being out of balance. I just thought of this the other day. I have not even read it, but I generally am. But I was thinking, well, I do know that progesterone balances estrogen, because I have a friend who's having terrible periods, and I was thinking, well, what if you just take a little estrogen cream, which you can get, it's just made from sweet potatoes, it's not, you can get it all natural, plant-based. I was thinking that might balance out, because if you start looking into estrogen dominance, you're going to find a lot of people and a lot of problems caused by that. And I don't know if that would balance it out, but I'm thinking it might be. What I always suggest and what I've read to be the best thing for this, it's called DIM. It has a name like dimethyl, but it's basically broccoli extract. And if you open up the capsule and put it in your mouth, it'll be like super spicy broccoli. This is an adaptogen and a hormone regulator. So I try to take it. I feel like everyone on the planet should be taking this, because as you can see, we cannot avoid hormone disruptors. And that's not even talking about stress, which is also major for interrupting your hormones. We should all be taking this and all be really tonifying our hormones, whenever we can. All right, don't forget to smash the likes and ask any questions you want below. Helps my algorithm if you ask questions. Also, I like answering them. So that's about that meat. I think that's, to me, is the biggest. Although, let's see. I didn't write this down. I'm going to put that in there. I need to look up and see if this is still true. But maybe 5 years ago, antibacterial, somebody typed this in if you know the name of it. The substance in antibacterial lotions pre-COVID, like I don't know what they're doing now, I think is very hormone disrupting. This one body shop, they had to take that out of all of their products, because also all of these things which hurt the hormones have what they call interfere with developmental interruptions. Let me write down. So what that means is that when you're growing up, up until you're like 22, you can have interruptions in your development because of these hormones. And even that hand sanitizer, that's why it was taken off. This one antibacterial product. Just Google it. I'll Google it, and I have to see if they still use that. I don't think it was ever outlawed. So if you're going to be like using antibacterial like crazy, just do something with alcohol in it, or yeah, I would just do that. You get this Turkish cologne that's like orange flower and alcohol. It's really nice. So all of this stuff that they're spraying everywhere, they are all endocrine disruptors. I haven't looked at it one by one, because I just know enough about toxins to know that most of them are endocrine disruptors. And most of them are estrogen mimickers. And I just know enough to avoid as much as possible. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to say about? Yeah, so hormones, all of these things like fibroids, endometriosis that we think of as normal illnesses do not need to happen. And if we keep our hormones regulated, if we detox the toxins, if we get rid of the pesticides and the toxins as much as we can, then we can not get those things, So, and if you do get them, you can like immediately go get some DIM, which you should already have anyway. But once you get that, or if you're having very painful periods, like so many people, get that. And if you're having painful periods or lumps in your breast or erectile dysfunction, or you can't lose weight, you need to really just delve into this hormone situation and fix it as best as you can, because that could just be the one thing that's really blocking it, and none of this is, it's not life or death. So I'm not like saying don't see your doctor, but my friend, they just put her on birth control pills, which it's your body thinking that you're pregnant. So that can wreak a lot of havoc with your hormones over time. Our bodies are made in an amazing way, and they're very self-healing and they're very optimal. So even getting vitamin D, which is a hormone, thyroid is a hormone. That's where so much vitamin D deficiency, because our hormones are all kind of thrown off. Get out and get a little sun. Take your vitamin Ds. That's also known for they say the people that have a lot of vitamin D, are very resistant to COVID. So just start working on your hormones and start understanding what it is. And, there's a lot of, if you have any problem in your body, just start investigating it until you find out what it is and start working on it. That's what I tell my friends. Like, I'll give them the DIM, the broccoli extract pill, because that's the easiest, fastest thing. So I'm like, get some of this. And then if you still have an issue, come ask me again, or Google and go to the next thing. So, it's good to little by little, okay, maybe you can't stop all of your dairy and cheese, go from eating conventional stuff to organic and grass-fed from a day to the next, because maybe people in your family, I don't know. But you can do it little by little, You can cut down on your pesticides. You can cut down on all of the toxins you have in your home, cut down on stress, and start regulating your gut. Like this, everything that you're doing to help your body is going to help regulate your hormones. And you're going to find you're in a much better mood, much more even. Your body feels good. You can, fertility issues are huge. I mean, that's why a lot of reason why obesity is a problem in many illnesses, cancer and infertility and so many illnesses, because the fat also stores these toxins, and the fat has a lot of estrogen in it. So the things all go together. Ideally, just learn how to purify, everything in your environment little by little until you don't have any interference. But if you have big interference, like you have endometriosis, frankly, I would get like DIM, and I would look at other hormone regulators. I can't think of any, right? Oh, DHEA, and maybe maca. Maca's good for men. Take that for fertility and erectile situations, as well as women. Because none of those are estrogen or testosterone, what they're called adaptogens. So what they do is they do whatever your body needs. Like if you have too much estrogen, they'll balance it out. That's all I'm going to say. Put your questions below, hit the likes, and if you want to come to my workout classes, we have 8-minute abs every day, 3 times a day. Ciao.